Now, if you just looked at those two horses, what the general public would they don't see any Appaloosa there, because and you would Dr. Smith asked me about paint horses. You'd see a black horse and a white horse, you think maybe you'd cross them and you'd get a pinto, but that's not the case. Uh, when these two horses, when Sunspot has a baby next year, that baby will be spotted because there isn't anything else that can happen. She has two copies of a gene for white. As you can see, she's borderline all white. And Zamoka, on the other hand, and she has two copies of the dominant version of the leopard complex gene called LP. The black stallion only has recessive copies of the gene. So from elementary genetics, what we'll get in an offspring is a horse with spots, because it will have a recessive copy and a dominant copy and lots of white. There's going to be a white horse with black spots. We have an example of one right next door in the barn of a horse that this black stallion is the father of three of these horses, the three that are in the barn. And he's excited today, so Jamie may have a little trouble putting his mitts on him.
Do you actually have to put a color? Like, do you call him, I mean, technically he's brown, right?
Technically he's black. He has been genetically tested for homozygous black. He has, even though a lot of these horses were lost to the Appaloosa business and the Appaloosa breed because they didn't look like Appaloosas before we could test them genetically. There was a doctor named Sponberg who isolated this mutation on the TRP1 gene somewhere in the double helix, and he found out where that came from, and now we know better. Now we know that these horses are extremely valuable. This creature, Poplar Zamoka, has as big an Appaloosa pedigree as I have ever read, and I've read quite a bunch of them. Sometimes he'll rear for us. Or perhaps he won't. But in any case, the purpose of seeing these two creatures together is this is the simplest cross you can get. A horse that has two recessive copies, a horse that has two dominant copies. The offspring is going to have a dominant copy and a recessive copy. It's going to be spotted. There's a different set of combinations with different horses. You think he'll get up for you?
No, he won't give it.
Sometimes he does, and sometimes he doesn't. But you can see when Jamie actually gets his hands on him, how calm he becomes, and how he responds to the trainer around him.
Good boy.
How old is he, Charles?
He is 5 years old. I wanted to breed to him when he was a 2-year-old. The owner at that time didn't want to. I didn't raise this horse. On the handout, you'll see horses with the beginning of the name is BCA. That means Blue Creek Appaloosas. Any horse with that BCA on it means they were born here or with me. He was born in Oregon, and then I made a deal with the owner to have him. And in fact, I bought him. I guess that's the right way to put it. I didn't make a deal. I just bought the horse. And and when we get to see the babies, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think I made the right choice. These are beautiful little horses. Let's go take a look at the youngsters. Maybe the children can get some FaceTime with these little horses.